Welcome back. We have a big update for Agent Zero today. It's a long requested feature, the MCP. But first, big thanks to anyone who gave us a star on GitHub. We are now slowly aiming for 10,000, so wish us luck. Agent Zero is completely free and open source. You can use it for whatever you want. You can learn more about the project, its goals, and how to get started on our official web, agent-zero.ai. You can also find links to our social media here so you can join our community. The MCP, or Model Context Protocol by Anthropic, is a standard communication protocol for AI agents to use third-party tools. This way, AI agents such as Agent Zero can now use thousands of MCP tools created by other developers just by importing their configuration into the settings. But it works the other way as well. You can expose Agent Zero as an MCP tool to be used by other AI applications, such as Cursor or Windsurf, for example. For most use cases, Agent Zero doesn't need any MCPs because Agent Zero can write and execute its own code. It can install the software it needs. So for example, here for working with Git, it doesn't need any tool. It can use the Git tool inside Linux. But for more complex tasks, for services like Perplexity, etc., it might be handy to have dedicated MCP tools. You can import additional MCP tools in Settings on the MCP tab. Here we have two sections, External MCP Servers. These are external tools that Agent Zero can use, and Agent Zero MCP Server, meaning exposing Agent Zero as an MCP server to another AI application. So here in External MCP Servers, we can open the configuration file, and here in the JSON, we can define our third-party MCP servers. This is a standard MCP configuration JSON known from many other applications, Cursor, Claude, etc. All the MCP tools provide a configuration example like this on their repositories. So I can just copy the configuration of the fetch MCP server, put it here, click apply, and this server should automatically be installed and ready to use with a single tool inside. You can also see examples. There are more things you can do with custom parameters. You can, for example, disable an MCP server without removing the config. You can provide custom description for the AI agent if you want to give him additional instructions. You can edit timeouts, etc. Here I have a bigger config to demonstrate how it works with multiple MCP servers. The initialization will take a few seconds, and I should see a list of servers. Some of them will connect, some of them will be disabled, and some of them will fail in this example. So here I can see the list of servers from the configuration file. I can see that DeepWiki file system and SQLite are all connected, and I can see their descriptions. Fetch and sequential thinking are currently disabled in config using the disabled parameter, and Perplexity has an error. I didn't provide my Perplexity API key here on purpose to show the error. We can always check the log produced in the terminal when running the MCP tool. So here we get the output Perplexity API key is required. I'm going to provide my temporary Perplexity API key, click apply again, and Perplexity should now be connected. So let's see how the agent can actually use it. Let's say ask Perplexity about Agent Zero. Now for the agent, the MCP tool is like his regular tool. So he can call Perplexity, ask Perplexity, get response from the remote Perplexity server, and respond to me. Agent Zero is an open source AI framework. And this is how it looks inside the context window of the agent. At the end of his system prompt, there is a section for remote MCP servers. Here, the agent can see all the tools, descriptions, and their input schemas. Most MCP servers are built as executable modules like npx or uvx in Python, so they don't require any installation beforehand. They can be executed on the fly. I didn't have to install any of these MCPs. It was executed automatically for me. Some MCPs like the DeepWiki are exposed on the internet on a remote server, so they don't require any installation at all. But some MCPs may be complex and may require installation, cloning a GitHub repository, etc. And this is something Agent Zero can actually help you with. You can tell Agent Zero, clone this repository, install the requirements, do all the steps you find in the README of the GitHub repository, and then you just provide the config. All the local MCPs run inside Agent Zero's Docker container, so they obviously have to be installed inside that operating system, which is something Agent Zero can do for you. Now for the other direction, exposing Agent Zero as an MCP server, that's actually very easy. You can see the connection example. It shows you a config JSON you can copy paste to your other AI application. I'm going to use my IDE Windsurf for this example. So I can open the configuration JSON inside Windsurf. It is exactly the same like the configuration inside Agent Zero. I can provide my Agent Zero server. And when I refresh, I should see Agent Zero server. Yeah, one thing you don't want to forget is to enable the MCP server and save it. So now my Agent Zero MCP is connected to my Windsurf. And I can tell Windsurf, ask Agent Zero for a joke. And we should see the communication between the Windsurf agent and Agent Zero. So this message was sent from Windsurf to Agent Zero. This message was sent back from Agent Zero to Windsurf. And Windsurf actually closes the chat when it finishes. There are two options. It can open a persistent chat. If it wants to continue in the conversation, the context will be preserved inside Agent Zero's history. Or it can skip this parameter and it will send an ad hoc message that will remove the chat automatically. In this case, it opened a persistent chat and closed it afterwards. We can see here that the MCP server is running on the same URL and port as the web UI. So any client that is capable of accessing the web UI can access the MCP server. Right now, both the Docker container and my Windsurf are running on my host machine, so they have no problem communicating with each other. If I need to access my MCP server over the internet, I can enable the built-in Flare tunnel in external services. This will give you a public URL you can use remotely, but before you do that, you don't want to ignore this warning. You want to first set login and password. So I'm going to do dummy and dummy here. You do better. I will say first to apply the username and password. Now I'm required to enter it. And when I enable my tunnel now, the tunnel is HTTPS, so it's encrypted and it's password protected. Like this, I can access my Agent Zero instance over the internet securely. And it also secures my MCP server with the token embedded into the URL. This part of URL is encrypted inside HTTPS, and this hash is generated based on your username and password. So if you change your username and password into web UI, it will automatically invalidate any previous MCP URLs. So now I should be able to connect to my Agent Zero instance remotely over the internet. So this is it. This is MCP inside Agent Zero. Big thanks goes to our developers. Multiple people have been working for weeks on this feature, so I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Let us know about your use cases. Let us know about your experience and stay tuned for more updates.